This is the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman podcast that deals with the early life of my alter ego, J.R. Hendrick. This episode is in a narrated format, commentary by myself and J.R. Relax and enjoy the adventure. Take care. God bless. Welcome to the podcast. Jimmy and JR here. We're downing some JR root beer. We're going to go ahead and get this done. This episode is called Liberty in Baton Rouge, June 30th through wee hours morning of July 5. So here we go. June 30th, 1 p.m. At Mary Jane, Jim is having a press conference. He declined to comment on some personal questions, but talks about certain issues in the Small Business Administration that needs some serious looking at. Access to education, federal state grants for small business, and faith-based initiatives, and federal-based enhancements to help poor people start a small business. 2 p.m., J.R., Kevin, and some of the family members arrive at the house in Baton Rouge. Jim announces their plans for the evening. He and Betsy were going to take most of the family to get gumbo at night with strategic planning to put Amy, Kathleen, and Kevin together. However, JR is to have a fish fry and sit with his grandmother at the apartment attached to the mansion. 3 p.m., meanwhile, at the White House, Bill Clinton calls a former SBA intern, the evaluator, who knew Jim Hendrick, to the White House. Alright. Let's see, I think this is it.
Come on, Mr. President.
Alexandria, come right.
I appreciate the chance to meet with you, Mr. President, even if it is in the wee hours of the morning. Well, no, it's just no big deal.
Bob, how are you?
I'm doing good, Mr. President.
What's the latest on Hendrick?
Well,
as we all know, he missed the general meeting of the Small Business Administration. He's in Baton Rouge. He doesn't seem to be very pleased with his job. Well, but I won't fire him. I just want to keep an eye on him for a little while longer. A year and a half and he'll be out. I promise you that. Well, I for one thing, hope you're right. But after it's over, where does it leave me? We'll see. What do you know?
well, he's been in regular touch with Constantine Bush. That's no doubt. Lots of other issues. Okay. 3:40 p.m.
Everyone else in the mansion is in the courtyard having ice cream. JR is sitting in the mansion den when Kyle walks in. Well, look here. Fatty here won't stop eating. Maybe I should get you some potato chips, JR. So you can't fit through the bathroom door, Kyle said. Kyle, that's enough, Madison said. Yeah, you don't know. I'm talking to you. You sneak in with Mom and Dad. Get the donuts. And get the first floor. Carol, that's enough. Grandma Elizabeth walks inside from the courtyard. Why don't y'all just leave him alone? Grandma Elizabeth said. Sorry, Grandma. We didn't mean to offend you. But Fatty here needs to grow up. And grow up here, Kyle. Alright, Kyle. That's it. You deserve the bell. Yeah. You're lucky that I was like what I was when I was 14 years old. Because if you remember correctly, I sat on your head and hand for trying to beat me up there at the lake. Don't mess with me right now, Kyle, Gerald said. Jim walks into the living room. Will y'all stop gawking at JR and go outside and help your kids get some ice cream? It could be melting. Going to damn waste, Jim said angrily. 5 p.m. As the rest of the family gets in cars to go get some gumbo, JR is in the apartment, and one of the servants, Tully, is frying fish for him and his grandma. Along with some french fries. You feel left out, Grandma Elizabeth said. I did too, Junior. Your daddy's chase for power has corrupted your mother. And the people who get left behind is me and you. Story of my life, Grandma. All got started ever since Daddy met his play in Nashville. Your granddad was determined never to let you turn out like your father. He got his wish. Come on, get us some wine coolers. I'll get you a wine cooler, Granddad and Grandma. But I don't drink. Not anymore. Come on. Please drink a wine cooler with your dying grandmother. That's what started a chain reaction, which would last for 5 years. Shortly before taking the law exam, I came close to becoming an alcoholic because of the bust of my marriage. But then, after some counseling and talking to my friend Ken, things began to change, and I quit drinking for good. 5:30 p.m., JR's grandmother had just had dinner when his grandmother leaned over and spoke to him gently. The rest of the family, I think, already knows. But there's something I think you should know. I'm dying, Junior, Grandma Elizabeth said. No, Grandma, Jared said. Mark my words, honey. I won't make it to Christmas. No. Now, please don't start crying. We all knew this day was coming. But the doctors, surely they haven't told Mama. For 8 years, I've been on chemotherapy. And I know this hurt you so. But you have to let me go. You will live on like the Swain family gentleman that you are. JR, if you give me some license here, go ahead. My grandmother told me the same thing. Was during that same time period. Let me tell you something. When you're a young man and you find out that your grandma's dying, and you're especially close to them, that hurts. Sometimes it hurts too hard talking about it. Okay. Six 6:05 p.m. At the Cajun Cowboy in Baton Rouge, the conversation is lively. Christine tells Kyle that she's excited about returning back to having high school in Texas. Betsy is telling Uncle Tom and Aunt Diane about the care Grandma Elizabeth is getting in D.C. Kevin is there having a fiddly conversation with Amy Kathleen. What the heck? This family is a wonderful family. I'm quite grateful for your Aunt Betsy. Is setting things up for us to see each other. But I'm in Lubbock and you're going to Abilene, Kevin said. Is it 2.5 hours? One-way drive, Amy Kathleen said. Besides, I might be taking a break from Greg. But I am sort of betrothed to him. Look, I understand that. This is tricky. And I realize that your Aunt Betsy set this up. But I'm not looking for an arranged girlfriend. Not that way. 10 p.m. Everyone comes back to Mary Jane. Surprise, surprise, Uncle Carl and Donna, Cousin Max and Jessica were there. Also, along with Claude and Janet. Jen wanted to talk, but Claude was bushed from the hours of driving from Midland. Okay, so now, if I can get this to work. Looks like I'm going to have to find it some of the way. Have patience. Here we go, July 1st. Yeah, okay. 1 a.m. Grandma Elizabeth wakes up with abdominal pain and reaches for her tonic and goes into the kitchen where she asks Thomas for more herb. 7 a.m. When Jim Perry purchased Mary Jane, Betsy asked the accountant, Paul McGuire, to also purchase her a yacht. And so now the whole family is having breakfast on the yacht. 9:15 a.m. JR is relaxing in the yacht. With great uncle Dexter and Grandma Elizabeth. Christine is swimming in the Mississippi River, and the rest of the family is on deck, having a good time. 11:10 a.m. On the yacht, JR had caught a snapper. Idiot. How does he get so lucky at fishing when he can't even see? Kyle said. Shut up, sit down, and listen, Jim said. I'll tell you the same thing I've told you boys for years. Fishing requires patience. Alright, since I can't seem to catch anything, Dad, is it okay if I throw a party on the yacht tonight? I've told you, shut up. I'll throw us one. 1 p.m. A limousine pulls up, picks up everyone at the dock, and take them back to Mary Jane, where they would have a goulash lunch with mashed potatoes. 3 p.m. Kevin knocks on the JR's room, waking him up. What's the matter now, JR? Kevin asked. It's Karen. She won't talk to me. And Kevin's like, why do you waste time with this woman? Seriously, Junior? Amber's dying to talk to you. Call her. I can't even get Brad on the phone. Brad and Karen have this unhealthy attached to each other. Seriously, man. Move on. 3:45 p.m. Against Betsy's objection, Jim adamantly says that JR and Kevin should go to the party over at Amber's brother at a frat house of the Red Scouts where Amber's brother is staying in Baton Rouge. Because Amber was visiting there for the weekend. So they hop in the Jeep and leave towards the frat house. Okay. 7 p.m. at the Red Scout frat house in Baton Rouge. Amber introduces Kevin and JR to her brother, David, who is going to Joseph Fielding University in Baton Rouge. David introduces JR to Neil Jensen, professor of American history at Joseph Fielding University, who is doing a project similar to that of David Barton. And so JR sits with him for a while until Amber pulls him aside. Come on, you need something to eat. The Scoutmaster and Scoutmother may have some pizza, Amber said. Neil Jensen would be someone that I would need to consult with throughout the next spring for my advocacy paper. Not officially, but he would give me his own perspective. This would add salt and pepper to my message and help me graduate in May of 1996. 7:30 p.m. The yacht party takes place, and Kyle is greeted by his friends, James and Laura Moorhead, with their baby daughter, Kate. James Moorhead would be called to Belgrade on the morning of July 5th. And Laura and Kate would go to Washington, D.C. with the Hendrick family to help take care of Grandma Elizabeth. – 9:10 p.m. Kevin and JR return back to Mary Jane to find it empty. Everyone else is partying on the yacht. Okay, so now, here we go. July 2nd and 3rd. Okay, July 2nd, 1 p.m. Now, the Sunday morning festivities were as follows. I went to the Baptist Church, Redeemer Baptist Church, with Mama, Grandma, Uncle Tom, Amy, Kathleen, and Diane, and some of the rest of the family. Daddy went to First Assemblies of Christ, Baton Rouge, and Kevin went with a fellow Red Scout to our nearby Methodist church. But now we're eating lunch on the yacht. We plan not to return to harbor until around 3 o'clock that afternoon. Amber last night had invited me to Sunday evening assembly of the Ephraim Assembly of Christ at 6 p.m. 2 p.m. JR is having tuna salad sandwiches when Kyle approaches him. If only you wouldn't eat so sloppy. See, that's the problem with you, Junior, Kyle said. And James Moorhead says, don't pick on him. He's your brother. Show some respect. Back off. Shut your trap, Kyle said. You know, Junior, he's right. Start eating more like a gentleman. Don't you talk to him like that way. Betsy, I warned you, Grandma Elizabeth said. Don't tell him what to do, Mama. It's going to be this way. We'll get the driver to take us back to the harbor. And I'll go ahead and take Mom back to El Paso with us tonight, Tom says. JR, I'm sorry. I should have stopped this while your daddy was away. What going on around here? Jim said. JR, take the helm. Oh, I see. You let the blind man drive the boat, Kyle said. You have no feeling of respect, Jim says, knocking Kyle back to a seat. Button it. Kevin, yes. I can't wait to go to church with Amber. I may stay tonight at the Scout headquarters tonight, JR said. You don't have to do that, Uncle Tom said. We'll stay. But Betsy, no more alcohol around me. Especially given Kyle a bunch. This is what happens. Okay. Kyle. Idiot. Bell. Okay, now. Glad you were buttoned, Shake. JR barbed his brother. JR, it's not worth it, Kevin said. I enjoyed your family on the boat. 3:40 p.m. The Hendrick party jumps into the limousine to go back to Mary Jane. Jim was in a very sour mood because Claude decided not to join with him on the boat. Frustrated, he thinks about going and flying back to D.C. alone. 6 p.m. Sheriff looks peaceful sitting beside Amber for the Sunday evening assembly of Rehoboth Assemblies of Christ. Bishop Gordon Blue delivers a stirring message about patriotism versus being citizenship in the kingdom of God. 9 p.m. JR and Kevin returned to Mary Jane to learn that Kyle and Madison went to a bar. Betsy was watching the two kids, so JR and Kevin head straight upstairs. Jim is downstairs smoking and talking to Claude. Claude apologizes for not being there for Jim. But he makes sure that he will be there tomorrow on the boat. 1 a.m. In the basement rec room at Mary Jane, Jim and Claude are still up talking. Listen, I'm sorry. I've been unavailable. Business has been crazy. Believe it or not. Not the minute Janet told me she wants to adopt. Can you believe it? So I had to find this Catholic adoption agency to adopt some kid. I need another boy. Like I need a damn hole in my head. I hear you, man. Kyle, he's driving me crazy. I bet he just sits there and Betsy just sits there and enables it, you know. I told you to whoop his crack a bit more often, Claude said. Betsy, that's why you know. Mama was acting like he was down all the time. Kyle is a perfect picture of health. But yet, he's beat on JR. Wish the boy would stand up to him and me. Don't hit the trail. You push the envelope with them kids, you're more likely going to send your family down the crapper. Yes. I should have listened to you. I let Kyle get away with a lot of things, keep the peace with Betsy. The thing is, if I don't stop this, I will lose JR. Maybe even Christine. 2 a.m. Grandma Elizabeth wakes up and walks from the apartment to the side door into the mansion den. She is screamed about yesterday's incident on the boat, but today Thomas was taking her to chemotherapy and lunch with Uncle Tom's family, as the rest of the family would be on the yacht that day from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the same time, Kevin will be taking some kids from the Red Scouts headquarters and pairing them for the overnight camping experience. But not to worry. Betsy agreed that JR and Christine would sit together. 9:25 a.m. JR is on the yacht. When his cell phone rings, it's Karen. I went below decks in order to talk to you, JR said. Where are you? Karen said. I'm at my family's yacht going down the Mississippi River. I didn't even know that your family purchased a yacht. They purchased a yacht and the mansion here. But can you give me another chance? Of course. I'm sorry, my mother's been around here. And she won't be leaving until the 5th of July. Oh, and one more thing. Heritage is doing a joint traveling internship with select interns from the American Conservative Union. You might get a phone call. Something tells me Daddy chose me. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm just convinced that you're not your father. JR, your mama's asking for you to come upstairs now, Jim said. 12 p.m. The family is on the yacht having lunch when Kyle approaches JR and Christine. I still have dirt on both of you guys. Especially you, Christine. Now, JR, that doesn't make you a saint either, Kyle said. Stop being so egotistical, Christine demanded. Thank you, sis, JR said. Oh, damn it, JR, don't you start on me either. You think I'm gonna fall for this trick? Have you two? Double teaming? And bullying me? I can mop the floor with both of you. Zip your lip, Kyle said. Can we stop this? Please, Jerry yelled. Claude stepped up. You another fool. 4 to 5 years ago, I thought JR was immature. Now I think you need to pick on someone your size or bigger. Christine, I want you to go sit down with Uncle Carl and Jessica JR, go to your mama. 3 p. Okay. Kyle. Problem area with Kyle. Alarm bell. Of course, the next episode is not going to be pick on Kyle. It may be more pick on Jim. 3 p.m. JR is relieved when a limousine arrives at the scene to pick up the family because Kyle had demanded from Betsy the keys to the yacht to have a party the night he was going to have. From 7 to 9 until 3 in the morning. 3:30 p.m. Okay. Let's see what I got to do. I got to fire up my T-Mobile phone. Because now we got the conversation between Jim and Carl. And let me tell you something. This is going to heat up. Because, JR, you know more than anything. There's always a bone of contention between Daddy and Carl regarding Kyle. Always was. Alright, hurry up. Come on, wake up. Alright, I'll just have to imagine. Carl, what the hell's the matter with you? Why don't you start standing up to Kyle on behalf of JR? JR needs to stand up for sale. You know what? You're just being pathetic. You know what you're doing? Mom and Dad, through no fault of their own, put the hurt on us. Leave me alone, Carl. I'm trying to enjoy my beer. No! You're putting the same hurt on JR and Christine like Mom put on us and like Grandma put on Mom. "12, 13 years old. Dad starts working nights. Long times. Mom takes 2 jobs. You're the big man of the house. You lower it on me. You put the hurt on me. I had to whoop you sometimes because you were being a problem. You understand, do you? I went to my room and cried sometimes because I was scared. You're my older brother. You were supposed to protect me. You were 6 years old. Our parents were fighting. Dad was going off the deep end drinking. And when Daddy joined the Air Force for the Korean War, guess what? Mama had to work 2 jobs to provide for us. I had to look after you. So I'm looking after. We put the same hurt. It's the same cycle. And if you're not careful, listen to me, Jim. Shut up, Carl. No! Was this hurt thing something you learned from your alcohol recovery? So what? If you don't stop this, you're going to lose JR and Christine. Do you understand? Betsy don't have to enable Kyle. Betsy don't have to enable Kyle, but you don't have to either. 3:30 p.m. Upstairs, while Jim is bickering with Uncle Carl about Kyle, Kevin approaches JR. There's a Red Scout rally at the frat house tonight. And I thought, how about you? Kyle said, jump. Mama and Daddy say, how high? Jared said, look, Amber ain't gonna be there. She's got a church meeting tonight with her brother. It's okay. I got a taste in the hole from Karen Crowder. She called me. 6 p.m. Retreat is sounded at Red Scout headquarters as the adult interns not involved in the camp out are lowering the flag. Someone, the Red Scouts, said an opening prayer, and then Ring Gleeman's Proud to Be an American was played. Jera, sweet memories of Granddad taking me to a Red Scout rally for the 4th of July, 1986. Kept flowing through my mind. 9 p.m. JR and Kevin arrive back at Mary Jane when JR gets accosted by Jessica. Stupid idiot. Too good to have a nice dinner with the family. With his family, Jessica said. Ignore her, JR. She's drunk. You can head upstairs, Max said. I'm on the yacht, having the time of my life with Kyle. And Uncle Jim sent me home to this stupid cousin who won't even spend time with his family. All right, Jessica, enough, Anne said. Oh, now, Mom, don't start defending that stupid idiot. You want to pick a bone with me, cousin? Go ahead, Carol said. Can it? Uncle Carl said. Anytime I'll let you party on that yacht with Kyle. There's nothing but trouble. Okay, so Jessica gets the bill. Jessica and Kyle think of thieves. Alright. So now we're at the main event. I just gotta find it. July 4th. Yay. 1 a.m. Kyle party is in full swing on the yacht. As the driver gets ready to head back to the harbor, Kyle is obviously inebriated with happy. Of course, Madison was getting ready. For strategy to get over his hangover quick in the morning. 2 a.m. Waking up with abdominal pain. Grandma Elizabeth takes her tonic and goes through the side door to the mansion again to listen to some Ernest Tubb on records. 3:30 a.m., Kyle, Madison, and his friends are returning from their yacht party. It's obvious everyone is inebriated except for James Moorhead, because he takes his luggage and goes, the limo takes him to the airport to fly to Dallas, and he would be in Belgrade around 6 a.m. the morning of the 5th of July. 4 a.m., Betsy lights up and meets a crowd of Eastern Star ladies in Baton Rouge who have come to know her real well. Today would be a huge yacht celebration on the water from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. All the families will be available. Okay, this isn't Betsy's yacht. This is a yacht being chartered by the Eastern Star chapter. I have been on the phone with you ladies for several weeks now, trying to organize this. Betsy says, all of us have been looking forward to this. Our families, not so much. However, all our husbands in Freemasonry have decided that they will refrain from talking about business here on the 4th of July in order to spend time with it as a family. 6:30 a.m., Tara and Kevin show up at the Red Scout headquarters for the flag duty ceremony with some of the same music. JR, as the Red Scout, was asked to do the morning prayer, and Kevin McDonald was asked to do the flag dedication. 7:30 a.m. on the yacht, Jim makes a speech about the flag, and with 3 other Masons raised the flag. Everyone said the Pledge of Allegiance and sang the Star Spangled Banner. 8 a.m. on the yacht, everyone is having breakfast. Breakfast is eggs, biscuits, and gravy. There's a gravy and hamburger meat that Jim made that he called SOS. Donuts, water, and various types of fruit juice. 11 a.m. JR is walking around inside the yacht looking for a place to sit. Betsy and Jim were already sitting with Claude and Janet, Kyle and Madison, and the kids. Suddenly, Grandma Elizabeth beckons him with her hand. Come on. Sit with me and Kevin. I'm having chicken livers. And I know you want the same thing. I've ordered it for you. And I know how much you... And I want to share them together. Remember when you were 7 years old on the ranch? And I had you try the liver? You love it. I had a chance to try chicken livers. Fried to perfection. And made just the way I like them. We all sat. They sat with me. And we talked and had the most pleasant conversations. 1 p.m., JR still sitting in the yacht, talking to Grandma Elizabeth, sharing a warm conversation. Betsy and Jim spend more time with Kyle, Madison, the kids. Of course, Carl dropped by for a while also to talk to JR concerned because he felt like his father was ignoring him. That's par for the course, Uncle Carl. That's exactly why I refused to insert turn under my daddy, Gerald said. Jim's got hurt too, JR. Just like all of us, Carl said. I may not exactly like your daddy, but your uncle's got a point. Your mama said after they moved back to Texas, when he was 15, that he moved in with Aunt Ezra and Uncle Jim because your grandma went to live with her mama. Her mama was a firebrand. They lived together for nearly a year. And they did fight all the time. Even when your grandma got in an apartment, your daddy lived there for a couple of months. And then he went back to Aunt Ezra. Think of this, son. When he was 19, Mama had a new boyfriend. And guess what? He wouldn't come home. Because that he got an apartment. I mean, something that next thing you know, he's back in school. And your grandma remarried. And they were divorced by the end of the year. Of course, in fall 57, Grandma remarried husband number 2. Let me tell you something. They were divorced by the time of my senior year in high school. And I left to be with Aunt Ezra. See, your grandma had more marriages. Grandma's hurt. Daddy's hurt. That's what AA taught me. We all have our hurt. 2 p.m. I'm dipping my feet off the yacht. At the same time, my brother and sister, we were arguing. And Mama and Daddy were laughing and teasing each other. I was reading McLuhan's theory of propaganda. A waitress handed me a glass of Caribbean juice when my phone rang. It was Brad. Tell me your travels are over tomorrow, Brad said. We're leaving to go back in the morning. Well, I hope you got the email about the traveling internship. We leave for Farmington, Pennsylvania Thursday afternoon. I purchased a motorhome. It'll be me, you, Karen, Jim Bob, Dr. Michelle, and her family. 3 p.m. JR is drinking some Caribbean juice again and eating watermelon, oranges, and lemons. The dessert later on was peanut butter surprise made by his mama. 4 p.m. Sadly, the celebration was over. Everyone went by limo back to Mary Jane. 6 p.m. At Red Scout headquarters, the flag lowering ceremony was taking place. They had dinner, which was barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs, and a potato salad with a choice of Dr. Pepper ice cream, Butterfinger ice cream, and peanut butter cookie dough. 7 p.m. Jerry and Kevin hop in the Jeep to leave the Red Scout headquarters. When JR gets a call, it's Dexter. All right, Hendrick. Have a job for you. You and possibly 2 other people are going to go on a traveling internship. I'll give you the orders, and you can show up tomorrow for the briefing room. But please, don't complain anymore. I'm sticking my neck out for you guys. And I happen to like my neck. I'm going out on a limb. Going to parties with congressmen, wealthy people. And they need some of the legislation passed. Come by to the briefing room tomorrow afternoon and we'll talk. 8 p.m. JR is enjoying some cold peanut butter surprise. It's a dessert. Amy Kathleen announces that since Greg is returning to El Paso, she will be returning to El Paso in order to prepare to go to Holland Simmons this fall with Greg. 8:59 p.m. A group of cars go out about several acres deep into the heart of Mary Jane and prepare to watch the fireworks. Jim and Betsy and Kyle and Madison, the kids, are in one car. Grandma and JR in the car with Kevin. Kevin gets out to help the family watch the fireworks. Isn't this nice, Junior? Grandma said. Delightful. JR said. Enjoy this while you can. Turn. Because Grandma's leaving soon. Please don't go. I can tell my advisor I can be late to start school, or I can forego. No, my son. The family needs to be back together in Texas. And you need to be close to your friends. Finish your education for me, please. 11 a.m. The Hendrick family party, including Laura and Kate Moorhead, for the private jet for clearing security to stay the night on the jet for the 4:20 a.m. takeoff from Baton Rouge going to Washington, D.C. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, I need to find July 5th, and we're done. That's going to take some work. Here we are. 1 a.m. Elizabeth wakes up with abdominal pain, and Kate wakes up crying with colic. Laura goes to fetch Elizabeth's tonic. Betsy gives Katie a drop of paregoric to put her back to sleep. 3:50 a.m. Jim steps into the charter jet after talking for 20 minutes with Louisiana Senator Cordell Wheeler. One of his aides got caught in a scandal regarding sex, drugs, and AIDS. So, Senator Wheeler wanted to make peace for Jim by saying that he would support some of Jim's initiatives regarding sustainability for small business. And there we go. I give this episode a 3.7 and some peanut butter surprise. Gerald? I give it a 3.6 and some JR root beer. Hope you enjoy listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman. If you'd like to hear, please subscribe, become a part of the adventure. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, take care and get ready for the rest of the story. It's going to get bumpy, twisty, and wild from here. Get ready, folks. It's coming. And God bless you guys. Remember, from the bottom of my heart, Judy and JR love you.